Well, hello and welcome to the Under-16 Girls Final here at Cup Finals weekend at the Sir David Wallace Sports Hall in Loughborough. I am Oliver and I'm joined by Frosty for today's game.
Thanks, Oliver.
Looking forward to this. We've got Richmond Volleyball in the blue and South Bucks in the green and black.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a really fun game. Lots and lots of noise today already. And it's going to be really fascinating to see how they cope with this noise and this pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can probably hear some of the noise coming across the way from the from Court 1, where the Women's Shield final is reaching a very dramatic conclusion. And there's plenty of fans in here on Court 2 as well, particularly plenty of South Bucks supporters with their green tinsel, green shirts and lots of clappers.
Absolutely, lots of clappers indeed. This is what it's all about, isn't it? You know, homegrown, under-16s, you know, youth volleyball. This is what the future holds for the sport. So it's really nice to get an opportunity to see these ladies play and see how they get on.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you'd expect, at least for this year, this is probably the biggest game that most of these players will play, if not all of them. And on such a big stage, as I say, the game on Court 1 looks like it's about to finish, so we may well get plenty of people coming over from there to watch this game and have quite a big crowd.
Yeah, and then it's just how do they deal with that? That's going to be the question, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I was on the boys' final earlier, and Leeds Gorse seemed to take a while to warm up, a lot of errors early on. Don't know whether that was down to nerves, but I think that's crucial for both of these teams, is to try and forget about the occasion almost and just play as though it's any other game.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to rely on what they know. From what I know, this Richmond team have been playing a lot together, not just in the junior competitions but also in some senior competitions as well. Certainly some of these players. So they'll certainly have a lot to rely on in terms of their skills and their abilities. And then it's just can they manage that when the pressure's on.
Yeah, absolutely. And both these teams have come through a long year of tough fought games. You know, you don't make the finals by accident. So we know they're both strong teams regardless of what happens today. And so if they can both bring their A game, we're in for a treat.
That's all we want, isn't it? We want a close, tight, an exciting game with lots of big swings and big blocks and lots of service pressure as well, just to make it fun.
Yeah, and I'm not sure we've had a 5-setter yet today, so that would be great.
I certainly wouldn't mind it. As long as it's good, that's all we want, isn't it?
Yeah, so plenty of action going on this weekend. So we've already had the Under-16 boys final where Urmston Grammar took the title. The Sitting Bucks won the Sitting Volleyball title, and it's currently match point to Cambridge over in the Women's Shield final. So we've got this game and then the two big cup finals for men and women on Court 1. Plenty of action going on at Loughborough. If you are in the area, feel free to come down. Student tickets only £10 after 4 o'clock, so well worth your money.
And people also flooding in now as well to come and watch both games, and I'm sure the crowd will only get bigger as time goes on.
Yeah, definitely. And the DJ is blasting the music. We're going to have a great atmosphere, but just focusing in on these two teams, you've highlighted a few players to look at on either side. Do you want to tell us a bit about them?
Yeah, I think we've got a few players from Richmond that we've highlighted. So we've got number 30, the libero, which is Harper Webber. So she'll be really important from a defensive side. And I think, especially in the ladies' game, this is definitely something that is really important in order to try and be successful and mount attacks when you don't have that first serve receive. So, you know, both Harper and also even Lila from the South Bucks team are going to be players that we're going to watch for sure. In terms of their abilities to kind of hold this team together, fight for each point, because every point will matter.
Yeah, certainly. You know, defence always huge in a big game like this. We've got a poll open just now in the live chat, so let us know who you're backing to win the game. And we've had news that Richmond are going to be serving first in this game. So how crucial is that first serve?
Yeah, well, quite surprised because I would have probably thought that they might have received first. But I know, especially in the junior game, you're probably going to try and want to bomb it on the serve, put the other team under pressure. So it probably, apart from the server, allows them to just relax a little bit and try and get themselves into the game. But it gives South Bucks the first opportunity to win that point. So yeah, going to be very exciting. In terms of some other players that we're going to be looking at, I think from a women's side, we're definitely going to be looking at the outsides. They're both going to have really important games, not just from serve receive, but also from offence as well. So the Richmond side, we're going to be looking at probably Snow Dixon, potentially number 2. We're also going to be looking at some of the other players that they've got as well. If they can get that ball in, they're certainly going to be using the middles, whether that's in front of the centre or if it's behind. And their middles are definitely very strong. So we're going to be looking at the likes of Grace. We're looking at Daphne as well, just to see if they can both put some offensive threats to keep that Bucks block waiting and ready.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, both sides strong in defence and offence, and it's going to be key, really, probably who can settle in the quickest on the big occasion. We've talked about how electric the atmosphere is in here, and it's important that they don't let it get to them on the day. Yeah,
and I think this is also a really good showcase for themselves. In a few years' time, they're going to look back at this game and they'll have some memories of this. All we want is for it to be as positive as possible. Unfortunately, both teams can't win.
Yeah.
But if it's a hard-fought game and it's really close, that's going to hopefully stick with them in a far more positive light.
Yeah, I mean, this is the perfect chance for them to go out and show what they know they can do on the big stage in front of friends and family, I'm sure.
Yeah, and who knows, we've got a lot of people around the arena at the moment, both from the national team squads, but also from adult National League teams. So, some of these players for sure will be progressing up into those National League positions and even potentially the national team itself. So, we may see one or two of these players, potentially even more, in a couple of years' time, suiting up for the national team, which would be really exciting. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Lots to show.
Yes, the future of English volleyball is here.
Hopefully, yeah.
We've got coming up tomorrow as well, there's under 15 and under 18 finals as well. Richmond also playing in the under 15s final. So there is quite a few in their squad who are 15 or 14 year olds. So they may be even getting the opportunity to play out here this weekend twice.
Fantastic experience, and I think just being around an environment where you've got quite a lot of fans cheering you on, but also opposing you because they're going to be supporting the opposition, is good for them. It's good for their development.
Yeah.
To be in these situations and to learn how to both manage that, but also to thrive in these conditions too.
Yeah, exactly. It's more sort of mental in at this stage almost, because we know both teams skill wise they've got here for a reason, so it's
yeah. And I think from an under 15 to under 16 point of view, Richmond getting into double finals is a fantastic achievement. They've got such a great junior program, and it seeps through the whole club into both the National League teams, one being in the Super League after staying in the Super League after beating Leeds recently to stay in for the next season, and then their women's program finishing second in Division 1, which is so close to getting into the Super League. So they're doing things right, which is exactly what we need in this country.
Yeah, and they've clearly, the future of those adult teams is looking pretty secure as well, at least on the women's side. So we should be getting underway in just a few minutes. We're currently at 50-50 in the fans poll.
Yeah.
So keep getting those votes coming in.
I hope they change a little bit. We want to see who you guys think is going to win this game.
And it looks like we might be getting the teams presented soon.
Have fun and just go out there and enjoy the noise. I think, when we look out into the spectators, there's so many South Bucks fans here. So for them, enjoy that noise that they're going to bring, and try your hardest.
Yeah.
You can do. You can't win right now. You can win at the end of the game.
So nothing too technical in these final moments. Just
potentially, I think Richmond will probably be looking at South Bucks and be thinking about some of their stronger players and trying to figure out, or trying to reiterate messages that they've probably talked about before. But for both of these, it's just about enjoying the moment and going out there and delivering.
Yeah, exactly. Well, both teams just having a quick pre-match photo. And, well, dare I ask if we should make some predictions for this game?
I think you're right, right at the start. I'd love a 5-setter.
Yeah.
I don't mind sitting here and talking about the game for 5 sets. I'm not sure it's going to be a 5-setter. My thoughts are more leaning towards Richmond, as they won this last year. So they're probably going to go in as favourites, but we always love an underdog story. And it would be nice to have like I said, a 5-setter, a very close game. But I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you. I think Richmond are favourites, but with the crowd quite clearly on their side, you never know what's going to happen with this South Bucks side.
And we might be completely wrong. The poll's still saying 55% South Bucks.
So I wonder if we're just waiting for the medal ceremony to finish on court 1 before the teams are announced in here over on court 2. Don't want too much distraction.
And remember, this is also the last game on court 2. So once this is done, everyone's going to move across. So
yeah,
I'm sure we'll get lots and lots of support now that game is done, which is only going to make things even more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
We announce our MVP for this game. We have one number on board that's to give away. Please put your hands together.
So welcome back. We've got the two teams being presented on the court right now, so should be getting underway in any minute now. Of course, best of 5 sets, first 4 to 25, fifth one if we get there to 15, for anyone who is unaware of the format. And these juniors used to playing best of 3 sets, so if we go the distance, it'll be interesting to see the team's stamina on that. We got support for both teams coming in the comments. Keep that support coming. We will be reading the live text throughout the game. And plenty of support coming in for South Bucks here in the arena. Can hardly hear myself speak.
I tell you, you absolutely forget how loud it can be. But that's exactly what we want. We want noise, we want energy, we want fun, and we are going to get it for sure.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of support for South Bucks, which is what we love. Let's get the support going for Richmond as well.
Yeah.
Very soon we'll probably be announcing the lineups.
Yes, so as we mentioned previously, Richmond will be serving first, and it will be their captain taking the first serve, number 14, who is Olivia Cross, trying to get them off to the perfect start on serve. Here are our referees. Elia Gionacci, the first referee, and supported by Francesca Hossain for this game. We wish them all the best of luck. So, South Bucks announced on first. I'm sure you can hear the announcement in the arena, but captain number 27, Laila Amos-Yeo. Number 4, Josh Bartram, the middle. Sorry, I can hardly hear anything, but number 7, Sky Hopkins, the setter. Number 9, Molly Mian, the middle. Number 10, outside, Kira Mirsalimova. Number 13, opposite, Teresa Debica. And number 18, outside, Maria Smolinska. That is the starting 7 for South Bucks. Then Richmond led out by captain and setter Olivia Cross. Number 7, the middle, Grace Owen Crompton. Number 9, the middle, Daphne Tuncher. Number 13, Lily Cohen. 15, Veronica Kornilova. And 16, the outside, Nehir Akatla. And their starting libero, Michaela Cabrejas. Got some support coming in for Amber Berman on the live text from the South Bucks side. And it's time to go.
Yeah, I think we're almost ready. Ball's being rolled, team's ready, and I tell you what, height at under 16 level is incredible. We've got some big athletes here, very tall.
Well, you can certainly hear the crowd is ready for this one. This is the loudest it's been all day.
Yeah, I think South Bucks still probably tweaking there. There's definitely more support for the greens than the blues. But,
well,
let's get
time
ready
for the first serve. Richmond captain Olivia Cross steps up to the service line.
Serve down the middle, straight to zone 6. Little roll shot, a tip by Richmond, recycled. 3 balls over. A little bit of confusion, first ball. First point goes to Richmond.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there, easily done in this sort of environment. But first point on the board for Richmond. Nice settler for them. A bit of a rally as well. Plenty of players getting a touch on the ball. The serve again. Up the middle, bit of a scramble from the setter there, and again pushed over. Free ball for Richmond, but the overpass costs them final touch there from Molly Meehan gets the first point on the board for South Bucks.
And that's what South Bucks will exactly want. Just get off the mark. Score 1-1. Serve from zone 1. Down the line to the front court receiver. Tip from the middle. Big sprawl, but down.
Great effort there to try and get the pancake from Kira Misalimova, but just couldn't quite get there.
Love it already though, running the middle straight away. We've had a middle attack within the first 3 attacks, which is exactly what Richmond will probably want.
So Cohen goes back to the service line.
Caught a little bit high. Free ball coming over. And again, just that organisation. But that comes with the pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And just figuring out whose ball it is in these loud, difficult set stages of the game. You know, this is exactly what they'll just need to try and tweak in those first couple of points. Whose ball is it? Is it mine? Is it yours? How are we structurally going to work? Serve down the middle, good pass by number 13. Recycled off the block. Libero set, nice and tight. Used the block, but not quite well enough. Big block by South Bucks.
We're going to take another look at that for Molly Meehan. It's her second kill of the game, and it's Bucks' third point, 3-2 to South Bucks.
We talked about height at the start, and again, South Bucks middle, tall athlete, already 2 points starting the game off.
Bit of a scramble for Richmond, couldn't quite see it because of the wall in front of us, but they didn't manage to get it back over the net. South Bucks opening up an early lead here.
I think they're probably going to slowly start to ease into the game now. 6 points in, South Bucks are 1-4. That's just going to hopefully settle those nerves down a little bit.
Yeah, we're yet to really see either team with an in-system play so far.
Great swing off the block. Back to the middle, big kill. Steep to zone 5, to the left of that libero. Just before the line, and that's a great kill. And again, they've ran the middle twice already, which is exactly the coach's dream. Helps force the blockers to stay nice and tight inside. Zone 5 serve, straight down the middle, high on the libero, caught high up on the shoulder, didn't quite track back enough, and unfortunately, ball goes out the back.
Yeah, great hustle from South Bucks, throwing themselves into the barriers to try and get it back. But it's back-to-back points for Grace Owen Crompton with the kill.
All about with the bleachers, you know, you've got to give it your all, and those cardboard bleachers aren't going to hurt you. Out to the outside, big swing down the line, caught the line, great swing. And that's a point, South Bucks. Really like that swing. Good vision of the block. Saw that the inside defender at 1 was inside. There was lots of space to work with there.
Nice and controlled, just finding the gap, not trying to, swing herself off her feet. Serve into the net, levels us up at 5. Both teams seeming to settle into this one a bit after a few scrappy early points.
I think so. I think we're going to see some errors, but that's okay. I think it's all about the intention. Sometimes things won't quite go the way that they hoped, but good service pressure so far from both teams. Free ball now from South Bucks, push deep. High ball to the outside, use the hands. Nice defence, good setup by the libero. Roll to zone 6. I don't think that quite came out as she'd liked, but I like the fact that she tried to run a little backcourt play there. What is also quite interesting is already Richmond are looking to take their blockers away from the net, where they've got 6 defenders ready for those balls that are just off the net. And again, the more defenders you can have around that ball, the more likely you are to defend that ball. So a good rally, but again, going to South Bucks.
Big swing up the middle, but scramble to get it back from South Bucks is excellent.
Fantastic dig by 27 there. Great tip coverage. Free swing by the outside. Good defence at zone 1. Deep swing by the outside. Just caught the libero a little bit high, and that's a point to Richmond. But really, there's not a lot in it already. 12 points in. 6-6. Scores are level.
Yeah, and we saw brilliant defence from both sides across those last 2 points. Richmond looking to use the middle 2 or 3 times just during that rally alone. So, but South Bucks seem to be up to the task at the moment.
Yeah. Side out, big support by the South Bucks. See those clappers going off, horns going off.
Now these, young players are unlikely to have played in an atmosphere like this, so I'm sure they'll be loving every moment.
Oh, 100%. They'll remember this for a long, long time. First ace of the game.
Going to take another look at that one, just catching the back corner from
zone 5, high on that front court receiver.
From Kira Mir-Salimova with the ace.
Free ball coming over. South Bucks, good pass. 10 ball, big swing, deep to zone 6, right hand side of the 6th defender. That's an absolutely fantastic swing.
Certainly is, and getting a bit of a gap here are South Bucks, and it's going to be the first time out for Richmond. 3 points in a row has made it 9-6 to South Bucks here.
Yeah, I think I'd probably be just talking a little bit about those feet. Let's get those feet moving, tracking the ball, because I think if they can get that ball in, they've got such strength through the middle, which will force South Bucks to either commit to the middle, which will allow them that one-on-one for the outsides, but they need to get that ball in. And I think if they can get that ball in consistency, they've got such a strong offence, which will put South Bucks under a lot of pressure. But love the way that they've started so far. Really positive, really good to see.
Yeah, certainly, and neither team has had a poor start here. They've both got into this game really quickly, and Richmond, they're 3 points down, but it's not like they've been playing badly.
Yeah, I thought they'd be a little bit nervous, but I can't really see it. Great start, and we're going to get off again after the timeout from zone 1. We'll see if she targets that deep zone 5 serve. No, goes to zone 1. Flat pass, free ball comes over, and again, they've now got a chance. Can they run that middle? Out to the outside, 1v1, tips to zone 1. Double block, hits cross court, hits round the ball to zone 1. Blockers block into zone 5, great swing.
Going to take another look at that. I think it had already been called for a net touch, but still a huge swing and a nice one.
Good awareness of that block there. Nice serve. Good pass, big swing from the outside, recycled. Yes. And I think already what we can see is the Richmond technique. I think the setter's pulling off when she's front court, coming to take that short hit. And that middle player's got a lot of work to do to cover both the middle threat and the outside threat. And I think that outside player has got a lot of line to hit to. And with a good contact, it's going to be really tough for Richmond.
And they're making good contacts right now. That was Maria Smolinska with that latest kill. So Richmond might have to consider a slight change of tactics here. Ooh. Brilliant scramble in defence from Richmond, but a huge block comes in. The whistle's gone. A lift is called.
Just called a carry. Great play. Love the play. Love the pressing by that middle. And that's what it's all about. Can we see some big blocks? We've had 3 already from South Bucks. And that's just going to help that defensive pressure that's going to be on South Bucks as well.
Josh Bartram back to the service line, a nice pass, and the middle attack again comes in with some heat behind it. We're going to have another look at that. That's Grace Owen Crompton. She's been lethal from the middle already early in this game, South Bucks will have to look to cut her out of the game.
Yeah, I think they might just want to maybe take one step to the left so that they can take that power line of Grace. But again, she's going to be a massive threat for Richmond. But a lovely swing, block out. And again, South Bucks are doing what they need to be doing right now, which is siding out, good service pressure, putting Richmond under pressure now.
Great dig there from Richmond. Again through the middle. This time the block gets a big enough touch on it. It's unlucky there. Just tipped off the net, you know, an inch
Really
more and it was over.
Yeah. But I like how South Bucks are allowing their outside hitter to commit with the middle. They're going double block on Grace, and it's working at the moment.
Right idea there from South Bucks. There was a gap open on the line, but just didn't quite get the contact she wanted on that.
Yeah, I think Richmond will now be just hoping a little bit of service pressure here, maybe move the reception forwards, move them back, try and build a little bit of a run to get themselves back in this game.
It's Lily Cohen on the service line, and that is certainly service pressure on that one. They're going to get a free ball over. Oh, but it's straight back over on the overpass. Brilliant dig from the Richmond libero, and the middle attack comes in. That is an excellent point. We're going to take another look at that kill. Again, it's Grace Owen Crompton, but the real plaudits have to go to the libero, Michaela Cabrejas there. Two excellent digs in that point.
Really impressive thumb down. Again, mainly hitting to zone 5 at the moment. She has hit one to zone 1. This, I think, is going to be the big battle. You know, middle versus middle. How do they manage that? And again, back to her. And smart play, play. Hitting to zone 5, tipping short to zone 4, keeping that defence on their toes, and certainly it's going to be causing them problems.
Yeah, so now that's an extra thing the South Bucks team have to worry about when they see her lining up to hit it. They've got to worry about the power and the precision and touch.
Great serve.
Well, you said they needed service pressure. That's 3 points in a row for Richmond, and they're almost back on level pegging here.
Yeah, just switching the serving picture, serve-receive picture, bringing the opposite into the pass. So they're now a 4-person pass receive.
It doesn't work. Back-to-back aces for Cohen. Lily Cohen having a brilliant service display here, and they're back level at 13. South Bucks are going to take a timeout, and Richmond with all the momentum here, but South Bucks looking to slow it here.
Yeah, smart decision, timeout, calm the team down, just talk about, again, probably moving their feet. I think that last ball was very close to being in or out. I think if they can work forwards and work backwards together as a little unit there and get that ball back in, I think that's all they need to side out. And again, then it's about that service pressure, putting the pressure back on Richmond. And these are the moments in cup finals, big supporters, you know, lots of people in the crowd. How do you manage when things aren't quite going well? Going to stick with that 4-person receive as well.
Well, can Cohen continue? 2 aces in a row before the timeout. She's back on the service line here.
Nice
this one,
pass.
yeah. A nice confident pass, but the set was off, and the swing just goes into the net.
Yeah, not a lot she could have done with that. Probably could have looked double hand, push it deep if she could have. But again, she tried to swing, tried to be aggressive. There's no problems with that.
Cohen again will put this serve in play. And again, that's another lovely pass from South Bucks. Nice tip, but well, good positioning from the Richmond defence. Big block touch there, gives them the chance to reset.
Long rally, great swing. Just finding that outside hand. Hands weren't quite pressed back inside. That ball's gone out. Great use of the block. Great block out, and that relieves the pressure, doesn't it?
It certainly
She's back
does.
to the service line. Had a good first run as well. So, scores at 14-all. Everything to play for still.
That's Maria Smolinska, just 14 years of age, but she's already looked dangerous throughout this game. And that was a dangerous serve. It's not going to come back over. It's an ace. We're going to take another look at it. Came over the net with some heat on it and couldn't be handled by Richmond.
That's a flat serve with a lot of heat on it, absolutely. Caught her on the left-hand side, didn't quite get the shoulder round. Ball's gone out to the bleachers. 15-14. I like that, bringing her forwards on that short serve.
Ooh. Brilliant dig.
Great defence. But again, Grace is there.
She's everywhere at the moment on that front row is Grace Owen Crompton.
Scoring lots of points. I think a question at the moment for South Bucks is how do they stop her?
Owen Crompton with the serve, and great spike coming in. We're going to take another look at it. It was number 9, Molly Meehan from the South Bucks side. Huge swing and couldn't quite be handled by Owen Crompton. Meehan will go back to the service line. This first set going back and forth, one way and then the other. Another middle attack. This time, Daphne Tunker showing that they can do it from the middle regardless of who is there for Richmond. And South Bucks yet to find a way to shut it down. That's a brilliant serve, but well received.
And good use off that net from the setter. Actually gave quite a nice ball. Was high for the opposite player. Just didn't quite get that hand contact on that ball. Unfortunately hit that ball into the antenna, which brings it 17-16 to Richmond.
Cornley over this time, just finds the net tape with her serve. Really aggressive server. The first one came in just over the net, and we're going to see a substitution. Will be Cornley over subbing out for Reika Hashimoto. Number 11 on the Richmond side gets her first experience of this atmosphere on the court.
First entry to court. I think this is more about stability from both a serve receive point and defensively as well. A lovely pass, potentially just a little bit tight for the setter, but lovely pass, but unfortunately couldn't manage to kind of recycle that off the net. And that brings it 18-17. So now it's a game of 7v8, and really this is where the error count really can kill teams, but if you become a little bit passive, that isn't going to help you. So it's that balance of aggressiveness that's going to be needed at the moment.
Bit of a miscommunication there, but Cabrejas clears up, gives the free ball in a free net, but there is...
She just got the tape on that swing. A little bit tight potentially, or just hand coming forwards and just clipping the tape, and it brings it to 18.
You think Richmond maybe have got away with one there. She had the wide open net and got a clean swing on it, but unfortunately just catching the net on the way through.
Nice pass, backcourt attack.
Unfortunately just getting that one wrong, off the wrist rather than the hand, and just going long.
But again, it's back and forth. 1 point. It's going to be a close finish to this set.
Yeah, it's who blinks first at this stage, really. 19-18. Hot serve comes in.
Good defence by Richmond. High set. Finds the outside hand of the middle blocker. Rolls short to zone 4. There's nothing that they could have done about that. It's timeout time.
Yeah, timeout South Bucks. The big swing coming in from Lily Cohen. But again, another great dig from Cabrejas. And Richmond, a 2-point lead here. It might seem not that significant, but at this late stage in the game, 2 points can be huge. We've seen both teams siding out for the last 7 or 8 points. And if that would continue at this stage, Richmond would take this first set now.
Yeah, you can see the South Bucks coach just talking a little bit about block defence, how they're going to manage certain situations. And I think at the moment they just need that side out to then give them that opportunity of those break points to get themselves back in the game. Interestingly, the poll has changed. You know, it keeps flipping. You know, South Bucks were at one point 64-65%. They're now down to 55%. So it's going to be really, really close as to who's going to take this.
And it's going to be an ace. I think it was number 16, Nehir Akatlar, on the service line for Richmond with the ace at the crucial time, 21-18. And she's back on the service line again. Can they handle it this time, the South Bucks team? Nice pass there and a clear swing, Cabrejas. And up the middle, found the corner, brilliant swing.
Nice reverse set. Nice reverse set on that kind of high meter-ball C attack from Richmond. Deep to zone 1. The defence is quite high, so there's lots of space in the corners, lots of space in the last metre of court, and point goes Richmond's way.
And this serve is really causing issues. Dug this time, but didn't look particularly comfortable under it.
Set a dump. And set goes back to the middle, and again, it's the big threat for Richmond at the moment. Both middles now really coming to force. And I think they're going to have to do something about this.
Yeah, well, we're going to see a change. It is Teresa Devica out of the game for now, and Amber Berman coming in for her first chance on the court. 23-18, 2 points away from the first set, Richmond, and an ace comes in. This is a brilliant service run from Akatlar. 5 points in a row, I think, on her serve, including 2 aces, and it sets up set point for Richmond.
Yeah. How the turns have tabled, how the tables have turned.
Nice reactions there to get the ball back over the net.
Great save. Great hustle. Somehow managed to get that ball over. And again goes back to the middle. Again, great hustle from South Bucks. Free ball comes over short. But it's too much.
Third time lucky for Tunka. Incredible defence throughout the point from South Bucks. Two players almost flying into each other, trying to get the ball back and succeeding in getting the ball back. But give Daphne Tunka more than 2 or 3 opportunities, and she's going to put one of them to the floor.
Yeah, very impressive. And I think, you know, if South Bucks want to get back into this, I think number one would be just looking to try and improve a little bit on that serve reception. And then for me, it would be how do they stop this middle attack, because it's so effective at the moment. They've got a lot of points. We're probably looking at double figures through the middle. I liked what they did where they got the outside to help when that set was front court, but ultimately when the set's back court, they don't quite have that luxury. And then it's about positioning, isn't it, of the system, of the defence. And it'll be really interesting to see how they bounce back from this for South Bucks. But you can't rule them out. They started the first set really, really well. Yeah,
absolutely not. I think at one point we were 18 all, and it ended up 25-18. So, you know, the scoreline perhaps not reflecting how close that set was. Just a brilliant service run at the end of that set really secured it for Richmond. But as you mentioned, that middle attack crucial. At the moment, they're just getting a few too many clean looks just in there quick enough before the block goes up or before the block is quite in the right position. And those are the 2 big threats, are Daphne Tunka and Grace Owen Crompton for the Richmond side. But South Bucks by no means dominated in that first set, and so, you know, it wouldn't be surprising if we see them come out really strongly at the beginning of this second set.
Yeah, I think they definitely posed a lot of questions to Richmond at the start of that set, didn't they? You know, a lot of deep serves, pinning the receivers back, catching them high on the left and right hand sides, and I think ultimately, you know, that ability to track the ball back and maintain good posture with the shoulders is going to be one of the things that both sides need to keep maintaining in order to get that offence running.
Yeah, and it's been an interesting battle because we've mentioned how strong Richmond are up in the middle, and in contrast, it's the South Bucks outsides who have been doing the damage for them. Mir Salimova and Smolinska have been the two biggest hitters on the South Bucks side of the net. And so both teams with contrasting strengths, which perhaps means they're quite well suited to playing against each other in many ways.
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see how those outsides do this set, especially if they can get that ball out towards the antenna. It's a big ask for the middle to come across and help, because from a Richmond's point of view, that setter isn't blocking, so there's lots of court for them to hit to be aggressive.
Just trying to see if we've had any changes. Doesn't look like it to me. Both teams with the same starting sevens that they began the first set with.
Yeah, I think they're almost ready. Libro's changing.
So, South Bucks will have the first serve. It is Sky Hopkins making this first serve for South Bucks. And unfortunately, it's into the net, which means Richmond get underway in this second set. So their captain, Olivia Cross, will go back to the service line. Oh, it's a difficult serve, but good scramble and great reactions. Gets it back across to the Richmond side. Again, they go for that middle attack. Again, incredible defence, but just 4 touches.
That's a fantastic one-handed dig back into the middle of the court, but just couldn't quite get the ball over.
Yeah, a slight touch off the block on that middle attack meant they were able to get it back, but still having to scramble. Serve comes in, a stronger pass this time, but it's going to be a free ball for the Richmond side. Just not quite there, the set for the middle attack. And unfortunately, this one just finding the top of the net. A couple of errors to start off with for South Bucks means Richmond have a 3-0 lead here.
Pressure's starting to mount on this South Bucks team. Hopefully, they'll find a way out of it.
That's an excellent pass, and
Great
the set
set
comes in. And a big middle attack. She put all her strength behind that one, and we're going to take another look at it. Grace Owen Crompton beginning the second set, how she began the first.
Yeah, block not quite getting across. She's got the line of her power line to swing to. But again, straight back to the middle, and Grace gets another point.
Yeah, this time coming in with the block. She can do it on either side of the net here. It's going to be a timeout at 5-0 to Richmond at the beginning of this second set. South Bucks just needing to take a moment to breathe and relax into this one again. It might be a 5-point lead, but it's not insurmountable.
No, I don't think it means that much at the moment. I think what is important is that they figure out a way of getting out of the rotation and then just going for their serves, being aggressive, putting Richmond under pressure, because as we've seen already, strong service from both teams, and really anything can happen. You know, a little run builds confidence, and confidence being built brings points, doesn't it?
Certainly does. Well, Olivia Cross will be full of confidence at the moment, captaining this side, currently up a set and 5-love, and she's had a great service run so far. Continues with difficult pass, causing problems again on the serve. comes in for another killer middle attack. Owen Crompton, they just cannot stop her at the moment.
Yeah, I like the range. We've already seen that short tip to zone 4. We've seen the thumb down hit towards zone 5. We've seen hit off the block and recycle, and now we're starting to see the other shot, which is across the body to zone 1. But a good serve, great pass from number 18. Big swing from South Bucks, recycled, and now they've got another chance.
Another brilliant dig from Richmond, who are showing their defensive skill in this rally. Lovely tip, brilliant
Great
dig from the
defense.
libero.
Nice tomahawk.
And again, Cabrejas off balance, gets it back over her head.
Richmond with another chance, goes to the middle. This time blocked.
And what a rally that was. Fantastic defence on both sides of the net. And eventually, Grace Owen Crompton, they found a way to stop her. The big block coming in. South Bucks on the board in this second set.
That'll give them a lot of confidence. And now let's see how they can do from the service line.
Perfect pass, straight to the setter. Set just a little too high.
Recycled, free net. Free net. Slight off-speed shot. Didn't look like that's what she meant, but it doesn't matter.
No, in many ways that was almost sort of an accidental drop shot there, which ended up fouling the Richmond defence. And Smolinska with the point.
But it's going to be really interesting to see how South Bucks can build their offence now, because I think they've got a chance to get back in here.
Smolinska again off the net, but doing a great job with it. And the touch off the block unfortunately just knocks it wide of where the defence was set up. Richmond showing that they're not just a one-trick pony here, with a few sets to the outside and opposite. The South Bucks block almost forming in front of the middle regardless of before they even see the set. And so just moving that block around there, and it's working.
Yeah, and they've both got slightly different ways of playing. We've seen already throughout both this set and the last set, Richmond, when that ball's off the net, they'll take their blockers away. They have 6 people in defence, but South Bucks will go for that block. Sometimes it's effective, sometimes, like we just saw, hits those fingers and the ball goes out of play.
Brilliant serve there, just catches the top of the net, means it will be a free ball for South Bucks. And a huge swing coming in there from Smolinska. Again, we're going to take another look at it. The block left the net and gave her all the space she needed, and she was not going to miss out. And suddenly this gap is down to 3 points.
Yeah, it might put a little question in their minds that maybe they do need to block the outsides, especially when that ball is good.
Another challenging serve comes in. The tip from the middle. Good scramble in cover. It's somehow been kept alive by Richmond.
Free ball.
Smolinska again. This time the tip, and again finds the floor. And she is having a brilliant 5 minutes here.
Yeah, it's not a bad option actually. That set just slightly off the net, probably 2-3 metres off the net, but actually deciding maybe I don't swing, maybe I throw it into kind of that deep zone 3 area where they've got multiple people that really need to be going for that ball.
Pressure again from the serve means it's another free ball for South Bucks.
Beautiful play, great defence. And unfortunately just didn't time that attack.
Yeah, it was Smolinska again, full of confidence after the last few points, looking to bounce it straight back on the first touch, but just jumping slightly too early, and was on her way down before she hit the ball.
Yeah, and from 6-0 it's now 5-8, so back into the game. Wow.
Great work
hustle
to chase it down from Sky Hopkins, the setter, but couldn't quite get the final touch to get it over the net.
Beautiful
Excellent
pass.
Yeah.
A little bit wide on that set. Tried her hardest to get that ball back inside the antenna, didn't quite manage it. And just like that, 2 mistakes brings it to 10-5 to Richmond.
Serve not coming quite out right and just going a bit long. Brings the ball back to the South Bucks side. And it will be Teresa Debica to serve here. It's a great serve, but the set is perfect. From way well off the net, a brilliant set.
Lovely
and a big
out-of-system
swing.
play. Great dig from all the way over to zone 1, nice and high. Probably that 1.5 metre ball inside the court where we can really get a big swing, and that was certainly a big swing.
Yeah, the kill coming in from Akatla. We saw her service power at the end of the first set, and now seeing her spike power in the second. And back to what they know works, the middle attack from Daphne Tunker. I think that's her first kill of this second set after 7 or 8 in the first.
Yeah, fair play, you know, up against a double block, rotating, turning, hitting to zone 1. But again, those deep corners are points, really.
Kornilova's serve proves difficult to handle, but a nice swing there.
Lovely swing.
Oh, and a huge block coming across. The block coming in from Joss Bartram. She moved really well to get across the court there, and the huge block coming in.
I really like that, especially from Nahir. High ball, she's really going after those balls, hitting them hard. Unfortunately, this time that block was just pressed over the net, hit those hands well, and a block kill for South Bucks.
Oh, wonderful serve from Smolinska, catching the top of the net and just rolling over.
And that's what the fans love.
And again, this gap back down to 4, and Smolinska's serve could be very dangerous here if she gets on a roll.
All those South Bucks fans cheering them on.
Fabulous pass there from Cabrejas. And it sets up the outside attack from Akatla. And, you know, they didn't go to the outside very often in the first set, but they've gone 5 or 6 times now in this second, and it's working just as well as the middle.
Yeah, I think probably from a serve-receive point, the numbers are probably a little bit down, but I love how aggressive they're hitting from those out-of-system balls. 2 metres off the net, it's really nice to see. Puts South Bucks under a lot of pressure.
This time not quite coming off, just catching the top of the net. But yeah, perhaps, you know, showing their diversity in attack now, Richmond are, you know, they've drawn that block to the middle by going there so often in the first set that now it's perhaps giving the outside a bit easier swings.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think the main change is really the pressure that South Bucks are putting on their receiver. You know, the last couple of balls haven't quite really been getting into the setter, so they haven't got the option of setting the middle. But again, they figure it out, they find a way. That slight overpass by South Bucks gives them that opportunity to win the point, and it puts Richmond back to 14-9, so 5 points ahead still.
Service error there from Tunker, and it's a libero change now, as it's number 30, Harper Weber, coming on for Richmond. I think this is her first time on the court. And straight away the dig. They'll get it over, but it's a free ball for South Bucks. And they go up the middle.
Nice
and a
play.
lovely swing, finding the court. The block was up, but she managed to get around it, did Molly Meehan.
Great vision, smart play. She could clearly see Grace was in front of her, and last minute rotated, changed those angles, hit to zone 1. Really effective swing for South Bucks.
And just another service error there. gives Richmond a 4-point lead back. And it is their captain now, Olivia Cross, to serve, who we saw went on a run of 6 points, I think, at the beginning of this set. Can she do the same again? Fabulous swing off the net there from South Bucks, and they'll get the free ball over this time.
I think this is potentially an option for South Bucks, running that middle, playing towards zone 1. They haven't got anyone really there from a blocking point of view, and then it's just putting the pressure on the Richmond defence. Can they figure that out? Twice now in 2 shots have been successful, and it's bringing the score back to 3, but now 4 with that service error.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's not what you need when you're in a tight set. These service errors just hand the initiative straight back to Richmond.
Yeah, I think the Richmond coach just talking about a little bit of defensive positioning and awareness of what's going on.
And they'll get the service error straight back. 16-13 here, approaching the crunch moments of this second set. It's crucial that South Bucks don't go 2 sets down. 1 set apiece is a very different outlook to 2 sets to love. And the run continues. You can understand the nerves at this stage and perhaps wanting to maybe push the serve a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive weapon in the women's game for sure. And we've already seen both teams surmount some big service runs. So, you know, there's nothing to lose for a good service pressure.
Well, this time it's an ace from Grace Owen Crompton. We've seen her power throughout the game. This time a bit of touch, just dropping in the short serve. And South Bucks weren't quite ready.
Caught high again, pass just off to the 3 metre line. Recycled, tip short to zone 3. Didn't quite get that ball up. A little bit late on that read.
Yeah, just slightly slow to react to the tip there, the South Bucks. And again, it's a big lead now for Richmond. And again, at the end of a set, they're just really showing their class and pulling away.
Great set. Lovely play.
Yeah, a great angle there from Kornilova, going straight diagonal across the court.
Yeah, like the fact that the middle set that ball. Lovely set to the outside, and you can see they like that play a lot.
Well, we'll see a couple of changes here.
Yep.
Looks like Smolinska is going to step off for a second, and Amber Berman is coming back on as she did at similar stage of the first set. And I think that's number 15, Phoebe Liu, coming on as well for South Bucks.
Yeah, outside hitter change, opposite change.
Backcourt attack comes in, but well dug. And a nice tip there, just beats the libero's diving attempts. Again, maybe slightly slow to react to that tip.
Yeah.
We've seen the power from Richmond that has pushed the South Bucks defence back, and now they're exploiting that space that's left.
Nice outer system set, really tight, so really all she could do was push it. But I like how she pushed it on the outside of that block.
And now an ace comes in. We'll take another look at that. The Richmond fans are loving it down in the stands. I'm sure so the team. They're just 3 points away from a 2-set lead now.
Yeah, really pulling away now, +9.
And another ace. The service heat coming in here from Grace Owen Crompton. She's been excellent throughout this game, and her serving now coming in at the crucial moment.
Yeah, great range from the service line, serving to both zone 5 and zone 1.
And she makes it a hat trick. It's 3 in a row to set up set point. 24-13, the Richmond fans jumping up and down. They are loving this, and it looks like it's going to be a 2-set lead.
Yeah, and you can see that ball floating. It's not easy out here. It's a warm hall, lots of players, lots of spectators, lots of equipment. All that heat is going to help that ball float. It's not going to be easy, and South Bucks are finding out the hard way that it is hard to track that ball from that lower net for the women. Faster serves. It's tough. It is tough.
Well, that's the way to end what was a close set. Was it 13 all at some point?
It was close. I think Richmond were always just slightly ahead, but they really kicked on there. A really nice service run from Grace puts the second set in the bag, and now they just need one more set.
It's a long way back for South Bucks from here. We've seen it done, and they've got the quality in their side to do it. It's just that service receive. We saw at the beginning of the set the 6 points in a row for Richmond, and then at the end must have been about 6 or 7 points in a row again.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what the chat think, whether we were right at the start of the chance of a 5-setter. I think it's going to be tough, but I'm still going to go with a 5-setter. I want South Bucks to get back in this game. They've got to start strong. And I think that starts from the ability to manage the pressure that Richmond are putting themselves under with that good service pressure. But it's the variety as well, isn't it? Moving them around left, right, forwards. It's not hard to kind of figure out a system here.
Yeah, well, you said they have to start fast. They certainly can't afford to go 6 points down again. That would perhaps be terminal for South Bucks at this stage. They've still got plenty of support in the fans, some air horns, as well as the clappers and the tinsel.
Yeah.
So let's see if that support can just spur them on here.
Flags waving, drums beating. There's lots of support here for Richmond as well, and rightly so. 2-0 up in an under-16 girls final.
Well, the third set will be getting underway shortly. Do you expect any changes from either side in terms of personnel or tactics?
I mean, I think Richmond will want to win it in 3. So I think realistically keep the same team out. See if you can bring on the bench as and when is possible. It looks like they have made a couple of changes, but from South Bucks, they just want a team that can start well.
Yeah, so we've got number 26 into the game. That is Melissa Ella Sutton. That looks like it's the only change. I'm trying to see who she is in for. Looks like Daphne Tunker. And
Number 8,
and number 8 on the South Bucks side, which is Olivia Williams, is in the game as well. We're also going to see Richmond using their second libero once again, Harper Webber, who played a couple of points in that second set.
Yeah, they've got a lot of depth as this Richmond team, but I love the fact that we've got lots of shout-outs for players here on the chat.
And again, the stadium announcer getting the crowd going. Not that it needs much to get them going in this game.
No, lots of support for both teams. Still more green than blue. Still more noise from green than blue. Hopefully that might help kick them on and start this set well, like they did on set 1. And then we want a 5-set.
Yeah.
We want South Bucks to win this set so that we can keep the volleyball on court 2, keep the fans happy, and keep playing volleyball.
Just seems like some technical discussions between the refs and the coaches here before we can get underway in the third set. It's going to be Richmond captain Olivia Cross to begin the third set serving, as she has the previous 2. Well, she won 6 points in a row on her serve in that second set.
Yeah, Richmond known for their very strong physical serves, But at the moment, all we can focus on is the crowd.
Yeah, some good dance moves on display.
We've got the Toro with a little bit of green tinsel. Lots of smiles in the crowd. Lots of energy. Very soon they'll figure out this slight technical issue with the rotation, and then the game will get underway.
Yeah, in fact, it looks like we're ready to go now. This cross will step up to the service line. Ooh, great low serve, just coming in over the net. The middle attack is dug, but not successfully. And, well, it's already a better start to this final set for South Bucks. Middle attack from Molly Meehan, who's been deadly throughout this game, really warming to the task, particularly in that second set. And it's Smolinska on the service line. We saw how dangerous she was with a run of serves in the second.
Lovely pass from Richmond. Goes to the opposite. Short little tip to zone 5. Recycled. Free ball deep to zone 1. Great recycle. Big swing through the middle. And it's
brilliant. Great scramble from Richmond, but couldn't quite get it up. And it already seems to me better defensive positioning for South Bucks. They were ready for the tip first and then the soft touch off the block, which would fall into the ground in that second set.
Yeah, and this is hopefully going to start building a little bit of confidence.
Unfortunately, that serve just going into the net. Gets Richmond on the board in the third set.
Serve coming to zone 5, great pass. Run the backcourt pipe. What a swing to zone 1. Somehow Richmond got it up. I think that ball's just unfortunately been free-balled over just on the inside half of that antenna. And that's another point for South Bucks.
Yeah, it was a brilliant dig, diving from Olivia Cross, but sadly to no avail in the end. And it puts Meehan back on the service line for South Bucks, who have had the better of the start, but unfortunately another service error.
Just a little bit caught in terms of that contact just below the shoulder height. Didn't quite allow the elevation to get over the net. And it's 2-3. 2-3 to Richmond.
And the swing coming in, it tips off the net. That was Kira Mirsalimova with the swing there, as the Richmond block again moving off the net and allowing a free swing.
Yeah, not quite taking the ball off the net though, where they're not blocking. So again, an interesting tactic, but it's working. They are 2-0 up, but 4-2 down at the moment.
Free ball comes across, and it will be the same attempt. I think that was off the net. Yes, it was. Off the net rather than the block, meaning it was 4 touches there from South Bucks.
But the intention, trying to hit the line, there's lots of space there. Just didn't quite get the contact, didn't quite get the execution. But it's really side out at the moment.
Oh, that was a brilliant serve coming in, really flat over the net. And it is an ace for Veronika Kornilova.
Dip short, which is never an easy serve to take.
So Richmond level it up 4-all. We've seen how good they are at getting a lead and holding it. Can Bucks stop them from getting that lead here?
Beautiful pass. Great swing, back row. That's a lovely swing. That's a really nice offence. Great pass from the libero, zone 3. High set for the pipe attack. Wrist over, hits the zone 1. Perfect point for South Bucks. Lots of confidence to be built from that play.
Yeah, we've seen Smolinska's power from the front row, and now from the back as well, as an ace comes in from Kira Mirsalimova. A great attempt at the dig from the libero there, and unfortunately the player following up to try and pick it up couldn't quite get around the libero, sprawled over the floor.
Love that from Sky. pulling the girls in, telling them, hey, come on, let's go.
It's another ace, 2 in a row, and South Bucks with a brilliant start to this third set. Kira Mir-Salimova, she's had a kill on the opposite, or the outside wing, and 2 aces now, and it forces Richmond into a timeout.
Yeah, smart decision there. Just don't want that game to just creep away from you. Taking the timeout, allowing the girls to settle. But on the other court, we've just started the Women's Cup final.
Yeah, Durham Palatinate versus Mallory Eagles. The Palatinates looking to do the triple and go a full unbeaten season, which would be quite some achievement.
Won the first point of the game as well. But what's more important is this game. And the girls are back on court. South Bucks back to serve. 3 points up.
Well, Mir-Salimova back on the service line. She's got support in the live text, and she's looking to make it a hat-trick of aces here. This one's well dug. And they'll get the chance to tip, but again,
nice,
Bucks
nice
are in the right place to pick it back up.
Lots of space. And again, this is the game plan that you can quite clearly see from the South Bucks. They've got to defend, they've got to get that ball out to the antenna, and then from there they're really attacking zone 1, aren't they? Putting the defence of zone 1, zone 6 under pressure, and it's working at the moment. Long may it continue.
Great defence again. It's off the net. It's going to be a free ball for Richmond. And they look to use the middle, and she's found the floor. That is the first kill of the game for Melissa Ella Sutton. We're going to take another look at it, and the third middle of the Richmond team who's shown themselves to be dangerous.
Hit the 4th metre line. That's a pretty good swing. Outside the outside hand of that outside hitter. Lots of outs, but that certainly was in.
Just off the net. It's going to be a free ball now for Richmond. Can they do the same again? It's a bit of miscommunication. They're going to swing right from the back of the court. A great aggressive
Dig,
play.
Wow, what a dig. Free ball back to Richmond. Somehow South Bucks got that up. Big dig from the libero.
Unlucky there for South Bucks.
Love the intention though. Trying to wipe off the hands of those double blockers. You can't argue really with the play from South Bucks there. Great point. Goes to Richmond, and it's 6-8.
Serve perhaps going long, but played. Oh, what a one-handed dig from Cabrejas. And the middle attack from Williams is just off the money.
Third set now. We can see that one-handed dive dig again, hopefully.
What a play that is. Unfortunately to no avail in the end. But I personally think she's been brilliant throughout this whole game as Cabrejas. But that's probably her #1 highlight.
Yeah, put that on YouTube straight away.
I'm sure she'll be going back after the game and trying to find that one to watch it back.
Yeah. But not just her, all the girls at the moment just flinging themselves around, somehow keeping the ball up. And it's beautiful to watch. Long rallies, lots of pressure is exactly what this final needs.
Just couldn't quite get that one back inside the antenna. Means that South Bucks stretch open a 3-point lead again. 10-7 here. I think this is probably their biggest lead of the match so far.
Yeah, and finally the chat has changed their minds. It's now 52% Richmond, but at the moment it's all South Bucks.
And it's an ace. Sky Hopkins finds the back corner with the float serve. Richmond player ducking out the way, but then it just finds that back corner. An ace for South Bucks.
Absolutely right. What pressure. Big serve, deep zone 5. I think they've been a little bit successful when they've done that. Now starting to target that front court outside hitter, which is, I think, quite a good option. That's very close to being out. Free ball.
Brilliant diving dig again on both sides of the net now. The middle attack gets a touch off the block.
Great save.
And what a rally
Good
this is.
defence. Big swing, big defence, no block. Great sprawling dig. Scramble and a free ball back to South Bucks. Run the middle, hits the zone one. Oh, hustle, great hustle. Free ball again to South Bucks to the outside. Free net, short tip on the setter. Out of system set from the libero. Deep to 6, but it's long. And that's
what a rally that was.
Madness.
Rally of the match.
Keep fighting, South Bucks. I absolutely agree. 5-point lead. Can they get back in this game? Just checking who's serving. I think everything's getting to them at the moment, but they're playing fantastically well.
Yeah, you can't blame them after that lung-busting rally. It will be Sky Hopkins to continue serving.
Yeah.
12-7 up here in the third set. 5-point lead now. Unfortunately, that one just into the net. It was always going to happen after such a long rally.
Yeah, unfortunate. But again, aggressive on the service line. As a coach, you'd love that. Don't mind making mistakes.
That's a great swinging serve coming in.
Lovely diving dig. Uses that ball well. Libero sets tight to the net. Great sprawling defence again.
Oh, that was another incredible one-handed dig. This time from Mir Salimova, and she was on the floor again looking for that dig. Just a touch in front of her knocked it out the way. It means the point goes Richmond's way.
Yeah, some fantastic defence from number 10, Kira, keeping South Bucks in the rally.
Too much heat on that serve from Akatla.
Are we looking for a timeout soon for South Bucks?
In fact, it's Olivia Cross on the service line, who's been deadly from the service line all game.
Yeah, I like what they're doing, bringing the setter closer to the net. Great pass, great pass. Big play. That's a fantastic play. One of the points of this set so far. Perfect pass, runs the middle. Big hit towards zone 5. Nothing Richmond could do about it.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want there. Great pass from Olivia Williams to start it off, and then Molly Meehan finishing off the point.
Great serve, great serve.
And everything going with South Bucks here. You can hear the crowd getting behind them. They've got a 14-10 lead.
It feels like it's getting louder.
Yeah,
which I didn't think was even possible. But the Green Army are absolutely going mental. Cheering South Bucks on. 4-point lead now. Ooh.
Great judgment there from Cabrejas and the Richmond side.
They can't have been far away.
No, we can't quite see the baseline from our angle here, but just going a bit too far. Well, every point the crowd is erupting at the moment. Can't imagine what it's going to be like if we do go to 5 sets.
Oh, pandemonium, that's what we want. Noise, noise, noise.
It's Molly Meehan back to serve.
Serve, pushes the receiver back, sets the middle from behind.
Brilliant dig and great play off the net to keep the ball alive.
Tip to zone 2.
And there she is. She'd been a bit quiet in this set at Grace Owen Crompton, but gets into the game with the kill there.
Yeah, I really like how Richmond are able to utilise the middle even when that ball isn't quite where you want it. 2-3 metres off the net, and they're willing to push the middle back onto the net to get them involved. And I think that's going to be something that they want to bring back to this set, because they've almost haven't really done it like you've said.
Yeah, they've gone away from what was working for them, but perhaps they've been forced to go away from it thanks to the South Bucks defence.
I think so. And we've still got that 4-point lead. Can we push to 20, South Bucks? Great pass. Good
Great
block.
block coming up there. And a miscommunication. So the point goes South Bucks' way. The block coming in from Olivia Williams in the middle.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the height advantage by any means in that middle battle, but she didn't need it there.
Yep, sub change, middles change.
Yeah, we've got Daphne Tunker back on for Melissa Sutton.
Great serve. Free ball. Oh, again, a little bit of miscommunication about whose ball that is. Great swing from the outside. And I love that aggression. Okay, not the greatest out-of-system set around the 3 metre line, but she's going up. She's being brave. She's hitting the ball hard, finds the tape, puts the defence under pressure. That's all you want as a coach. Those players to be fearless. And at the moment, that's what South Bucks are doing. 6-point lead. What do you reckon? Do you reckon they can do it?
I think so. They've got all the momentum with them. The crowd is with them. And the way the game is going, it's with them at the moment. Mia Salamova with that last kill. And yeah, as you say, not right over the net, not the perfect conditions for a swing, but still going after it. And again, interesting, Richmond still not really putting a block up on that play. So, South Bucks looking energised coming out of that timeout. It's Teresa Debica back on the service line.
Oh, that was close.
Late decision to leave.
Great decision
the
though,
right
tracking
one.
the ball back. All the right things. Good decision at the end to leave that. It's down to a 5-point difference. Great pass.
Unfortunate there for South Bucks. It was a great pass, but the set not quite in the right place.
Yeah, these things happen, but I like the intent. I like trying to push that outside because that's where the free net will be. Caught the tape.
Not much you can do about that serve. The ace coming in from Kornilova. Just
The perfect
catching
serve.
the tape.
Perfect serve if you're serving. Not the perfect serve if you're receiving.
Well, they've closed this gap down to 3 points. Good service run from Kornilova. Again, this one difficult to handle, means it's going to be a free ball. They'll go through the middle.
What a dig.
Another one-handed dig.
That is a big time dig.
They'll go up the middle again. This time the tip, but they're in place again, as they have been all throughout this set.
Great
and a
swing.
big swing coming in. And there is the point for South Bucks. And I think you have to say the plaudits go to that one-handed dig earlier on.
Let's watch that defense again from the middle attack. Caught on the right arm. Wow, like what a dig. And then to top that ball off with the backcourt pipe hit to zone 1. Great play from South Bucks. Brings them 1 point closer to the 20s. When you get there, you've only got 5 to go.
I think that was Teresa Debica with the dig. We haven't talked about her too much, but a huge play at a crucial time. And then it's followed up by an ace from Mia Salamova. She's been excellent from the service line throughout this whole game. And South Bucks get to 20 with a 5-point lead here. And it looks like we are going to have another set at this rate. Steps up to serve again. Oh, brilliant scramble to keep it alive from Richmond. I thought that was another ace.
It was very close. Great swing, great defence from Richmond. Tips. And a block.
I think that was a block, just with the fingertips.
Wow.
I think it was Olivia Williams again with that block. Just stretching and just
Great
off her
block.
fingertips, just enough to get it back over the net.
Surprisingly, someone doesn't want another set, but I can understand why. Maybe 2 people don't now. But 4 points to go for South Bucks. 9 points for Richmond. anything can still happen at the end of those sets. We've seen it before, Richmond pulling away with a big run at the end of each set.
Unfortunately, that serve just catching the tape. Akatla, who has been dangerous from the service line, and she went for it there, but just catching the tape. I think we've missed a substitution at some point because Hashimoto's on the pit court for Richmond. So it's 22-17 now as that serve just goes long.
Last rotation for South Bucks to take advantage of that free net at zone 2.
Wow. Oh, incredible scramble, but just going wide. Brilliant reactionary play from Richmond, but ultimately it's another kill for Smolinska. It means they're 2 points away from the third set.
Yeah, great side out. 2 points to go now. Can they pick up 2 points in this rotation through the outside, maybe even through the middle?
Yeah, well, we saw Sky Hopkins dangerous on serve last time out, and it's another strong serve. It played off the net. Cabrejas tries to keep it alive but can't, and we're at set point for South Bucks.
Keeping that 5-setter alive, keeping the dream alive.
So, Sky Hopkins, the setter, back on the service line. She's been brilliant on serve throughout this game, and another great challenging serve comes in. They're going to look for the outside attack. Off the net and rolls it in.
Swing.
Right on the baseline. Brilliant swing. That was Lily Cohen there. And the substitution will be reversed as Hashimoto swaps back with Kornilova. As the captain steps back to serve.
Beautiful pass. Runs the middle, hits the zone 1. High set from the libero, tip short to the outside hitter. Throws it reverse. Roll shot from the opposite. A bit of a scramble, throws it and signals out. And that's it.
There it is, the third set from South Bucks. The crowd on their feet. 25-18, a fantastic set from South Bucks. We knew they had it in them if they put a complete performance together.
Crowd going crazy. Look at the crowd cheering them on as they come round. And they certainly changed things in that set, didn't they?
They did.
Utilising their outside hitters a little bit more. I think their serve receive was better. And definitely put Richmond under a little bit more pressure from the serve.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we know the strength of Richmond, don't we?
Yeah, they certainly will come back with a bang in this fourth set. They will not want to lose this game after being in such a strong position in those opening 2 sets. South Bucks getting plenty of support in our live chat and in the venue as well. And they're using it to their advantage at the moment. Highlighted it at the beginning of the third set, but just for me, their defensive positioning was so much better in that third set. Yeah. Covering all the options and keeping those rallies going. And the amount of long rallies that we saw them win in that third set was, was probably the deciding factor.
Yeah, as a former libero, I love defence, but I don't even know how they're doing it. Flinging themselves around, one hand this way, one hand this way, keeping the ball alive, and that's exactly what you want on a cup final. So many highlight reels from defence, so many highlight reels from offence. It's been a great game so far, and we've still got more.
Yeah, and potentially 2 sets more. So South Bucks have the momentum here. They began that third set well and put Richmond on the back foot from the off, and they'll be looking to do similar here in the fourth.
Yeah, just slowly getting ready to come back onto the court and start this fourth set for the under-16 girls final between South Bucks and Richmond.
Well, currently 75% of you think are backing the South Bucks for a reverse sweep here. They went 2-0 down. Can they win it 3-2?
Yeah, for me, I just want to be the first game that goes to 5.
Yeah.
You know, we want to see lots of volleyball, and this is the future of hopefully the national teams to come. You know, some of the players here will be involved for sure. There's lots of talent on show, and we can see it both offensively and defensively, and we're just about ready to get started, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of these players in the Super League, if not the national team, pretty soon, really. It will be Olivia Williams to begin the 4th set on serve for South Bucks. Didn't quite see what happened there, but certainly not going to plan.
That's right. I don't think they remember they were serving, but it's okay. They're serve receiving now, so Richmond get it off 1-0. Captain to serve, and an ace.
We're going to take another look at that. The South Bucks coach thought it went long, but the referee's saying it caught the baseline. It certainly did. We've seen it on the replay, and an ace to begin with for Richmond's captain.
It's an ambiguous, or bold, shall I say, bold prediction. 25-1. Mathematically impossible now. Maybe 25-2. But I don't think so either.
Maria Smolinska there. We've seen her power and seen the touch there, just rolling it and getting a slight touch off the block.
What a dig. Hits the net tape. Somehow got up by the libero. Free ball comes over to South Bucks. Sets the outside. Big swing.
Oh, this players sprawled all over the floor for Richmond here. They can't quite get it back. That pressure telling for South Bucks.
Really smart by the libero there from Richmond. There's no problems going through the net as long as those feet don't go under as well. She's all over the court at the moment, getting balls left, right and centre.
Sky Hopkins finds the outside line for another ace. That must be at least her 5th of the game.
Just caught the line. You know, from where I stood, I thought it was out too. The receiver sold it, but ball just coming back inside, just clipping the line, and that brings South Bucks to 3-2.
Again, a strong serve coming in from Hopkins gives South Bucks the free ball. She sets up the middle attack from Meehan, brilliant cover, but Richmond can't quite get it up. A very smart play from Meehan. We perhaps haven't seen the power kills from her as much as from the Richmond middles, but she's clearly got a very clever volleyball brain and knows how to find the floor.
Yeah, I think this must be a tactic. You know, middle goes up, throws it to zone 2, zone 1, or hits the zone 1. And we can see it's very, very effective.
And this time the block coming in from Meehan.
Wow.
Brilliant scramble again from Richmond, who are throwing themselves all over the place here in this 4th set. And again, Meehan with a brilliant touch, but there was a net touch before, so winning the point on 2 counts there.
And again, really similar to last set. South Bucks just starting to creep forwards.
So Hopkins back again on the service line, and again they just cannot get a good pass, a clean pass off that Hopkins serve.
Thanks, little coach Mitch, for the little stats there. 3 service aces for Sky, absolutely.
And we can afford her the slight mistake made there due to the amount of service pressure she had been putting on. She's got South Bucks off to the perfect start in this 4th set.
Great pass, great pass. Runs the middle, hits the zone 5 deep, hits the libero high, comes through the fingers.
Yeah,
Points to South Bucks.
Textbook side out there for South Bucks. Going up the middle, We didn't see it so much in the first couple of sets, but now they've brought it into the game and it's working really well for them.
Oh no. Unfortunate. It's not really what we want to be seeing at the moment. Overpass point for Richmond. Brings it to 4-6.
Backcourt swing from Williams was going to land in the corner, so it had to be played. Tip is covered again by Williams. Free ball again for Richmond. Coming up the middle, block comes in, but just slightly too late. Gives the kill to Tunker.
Yeah, lovely play from Richmond. A little bit scrappy, but gets that ball in from that free ball, runs the middle, hits off that outside hand for a wipeout. Point Richmond.
Owen Crompton put some heat behind that serve. And great cover from Mir Salimova, but couldn't quite make the play off the net. Brilliant serve from Owen Crompton, who's applied pressure off the service line all game. She'll look to do it again here as Richmond have drawn level, 6-all. This time it's a perfect pass.
Great swing from the opposite.
The ball's still live. The crowd started cheering. Incredible defence from Richmond, but the whistle has gone.
I think we might want to see that again.
Yeah, not quite sure what the call is there.
So I think what happened there is the ref scored it out as that defence has come in and the ball has hit the net, and I think they've called that the ball's hit the antenna. That would then mean that the ball's gone out. And I can't quite see from the replay the angle, but that looks a very good call, if that's correct.
But regardless, incredible hustle from Richmond.
Great
Point
hustle.
will go South Bucks' way, though.
Big kill.
Middle attack. They need to go back to that. It's what worked for them so well early on. And Tunker with yet another kill in this game.
Yeah, that cross-body shot. Back to zone one, creeping and hitting the line.
Oh, huge swing coming in. And we have got massive swings coming in on both sides of the net here in this fourth.
Let's watch that again. Goes up, big heat on that swing. Deep to zone 5, just inside the line.
Absolute precision from Mir Salimova.
And that keeps them in the lead, 8-7. This is getting tight.
Nicely dug there, and it will be Mir Salimova again. This time she has to adjust and just goes for the tip. Swing comes in, and unfortunately a bit of miscommunication there. Two players leaving it for each other. Means we're tied back up at 8.
Yeah, just watching the replay there. 6 up close for that short hit. There's lots of space in the deep court. If you can beat the libero.
Free ball comes in, but it's short, and it will find the floor. A clever play there, and she may not have expected to win the point with it, but caused some problems, and in the end it was too much for Richmond.
Yeah, clever play. Hopefully next time the setter might just engage in that ball and take it herself. But love the intelligence from South Bucks. 9-8 the score. Richmond right on their heels. It's 9-all. In this under-16 final, Richmond 2, South Bucks 1 at the moment. Score is 9-9. Really all to play for in this fourth set.
Definitely Tunker back on the service line. A high serve is well received, and the swing from South Bucks is dug. Big block. And Smolinska with the block. She didn't quite get the clean connection on this swing earlier on in the point, but makes up for it with a huge block there. And South Bucks are the first team to double figures.
Yeah, lovely block there. Maria just pressing over the net, getting that block kill Fantastic work, and they're back to the service line. Deep serve, received just outside the 3 metre line, volley over the net. A little bit scrappy, but they've got a chance. Free net.
Oh, brilliant reactions from Richmond. Backcourt attack and another one-handed dig, keeping this point alive. And maybe if she had the chance again, she wouldn't have gone for such an aggressive play, and she's going to have a word with the referee.
Yeah, a little bit of an emotional response to that there, but it's okay. You know, she wants to do well. Just hit the ball in the net.
Yeah, you can understand that sort of response.
Because it's close. It's such a tight game here. 11-9, serve back, serve straight to her. Beautiful pass. She gets another chance.
And again, South Bucks are there to cover the tip. Good swing coming in from the backcourt.
Free ball, South Bucks runs the middle.
Another one-handed dig coming in from Richmond. And a backcourt attack. Excellent play. A combination there of Veronika Kornilova and Nehir Akatlar wins the point for Richmond. And they keep the gap at 1 here.
Yeah, I really like what Molly's doing with her middle attacks, where she's coming into the setter and then turning to hit to zone 1. She is finding a lot of success with that, although that play from Richmond, fantastic.
And that is a brilliant swing to find the line there from Smolinska. She couldn't have found it any better to avoid that two-person block coming up.
That's a proper swing, proper swing. Wrist over the ball, thumb up, hits the zone 1, loads of space, great point. Great pass. Runs that middle double block, recycled, free ball over.
Smolinska again.
Beautiful dig from Richmond's libero there. Good play. Short tip, covered. Yeah, I think just a little positional mistake there. Libero and Settle both looking to try and take that short little tip. 6 players nice and deep for that hit. Unfortunately, it's the way that rally ended, and we've seen a timeout from Richmond. There's really not a lot in it.
No, absolutely not.
Although the score says it's 13-10, it's really tight. And this is a great, great final between two really good teams. And it's nice to see that competition where one team isn't dominating completely, and it's really been back and forth. Richmond started really well. They've come into the game. They're coming back into the game in that second set, and now kind of really catching up to South Bucks, who are now building momentum and pushing their case forwards to be the winners of this final.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Richmond are necessarily playing any worse than they were in those first 2 sets. It's just South Bucks have really upped their level.
They have.
We saw the middle attack being blocked there in that previous rally, which just wasn't happening in those first 2 sets. And the defensive positioning has just been excellent from South Bucks in this last couple of sets.
That'll help Richmond get back in the game. It's 2-point difference. We got Lily to serve.
Lily Cohen gets the serve in play, but well received. Yeah, bit of a lift called on that set. It didn't look completely clean to me, but
it's unfortunate. I liked how she wanted to run the opposite there as well, spreading the play. Unfortunately, just held on to it a little bit too long. Whoa, whoa.
What a dig from Cabrejas. And now from South Bucks.
Good job.
And the block, and again Cabrejas is on the floor, making the play. Another one-handed dig coming in.
That's a big one-handed dig.
And finally, they get a ball that Cabrejas can't get to. She gave it her best effort. What an incredible rally.
I don't know what to say.
Defensive plays from both sides. There was a moment in that point where Teresa Debica played the ball off the floor, diving play, and then as soon as she got back up, she looked up, the ball was over her, and she had to hit it back over the net. And Cabrejas on the other side of the net hardly was able to get off the floor before she was back diving for the next ball.
It's impressive stuff. That was an exceptional rally. Unfortunately, didn't go quite their way. We just saw an opposite hit a really aggressive swing that just missed, and we're now 15-12 to South Bucks. No, that 15-13.
Yeah, Smolinska, who's been going for it from the service line all game. It comes with risk. It's high risk, high reward. We've seen her get plenty of reward throughout the game. This one just finding the net though. And another player who's been providing service pressure is Grace Owen-Crompton, who steps up here. They seem to think it just went long, but in fact just catching the back line, it will be an ace.
Yeah, she just touched it as well. So yeah, point to Richmond. It was very close.
And
just
they're back within one.
Yeah, back to one. Again, really close.
Good swing again from off the net from South Bucks.
And point.
The kill coming in from Cornell over there, and Richmond are back level here at 15 all. Huge moments here. These next 3 or 4 points absolutely crucial for either side, and it's going to be an ace for Owen-Crompton. Richmond have their first lead of this 4th set.
Harry Milton, don't give up, South Bucks, keep it up, absolutely. Both teams are still in the game.
This one, a wise decision to leave from the South Bucks captain, Laila Amosio.
Not far away at all, and all to play for, 16 apiece. I think South Bucks are just going to do a substitution here.
Yeah, it looks like Evie Winspear is ready to come on the court for Molly Meehan. It's her first appearance on the court. She looks like a serving sub, as it means South Bucks now have 2 setters on the court. Yeah,
Sarah 5. I wonder if she's going to serve towards zone 1, zone 6.
Well, not quite going to plan, but difficult to be thrown in the game, having not played at all, straight onto the service line.
That's right. Nice to see all the players getting a little bit of court time.
And it stays tense here in this 4th set. You can understand why the players are tensing up here. 17 all in the 4th set.
All to play for. These next 8 points could decide potentially who has momentum either for a 5th set or for champions. Big play, big kill. Lovely pass from Richmond, utilises that middle, and again turns, hits the zone 1.
It's going to be a sub on the Richmond side now. We've seen it a couple of times throughout the game. Riika Hashimoto coming on for Veronica Kornilova.
Yep. Opposite comes out. Defensive specialist comes in just to stabilise things and keep it tough.
And
that'll
it's
certainly help.
Nehir Akatla with the ace. She finished off the first set, came on to serve at a similar scoreline, I think 18 all, and won 7 points in a row. Can she do it again here to win the match? It's a timeout called for South Bucks.
Yep. Smart decision. Still lots to play for in this set. Just need 1 point to side out. And then build again from the service line.
Well, let us know in the comments which way you think this one's going. It's 53% on the poll currently for a South Bucks reverse sweep.
Although 2 points down, anything can still happen.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen margins of 2 or 3 points be wiped out in the blink of an eye multiple times during this game.
Richmond know if they just get 6 more points, they'll be champions.
Seems so close and yet so far at the same time. It is Akatla who's being made to wait on the service line now. 19-17 up. She's applied pressure from that baseline all game. And this is no different, but
yeah, I thought there was a touch as well. Yeah. The lines on the other side caught it. Ref caught it. I think that was the right decision there.
Yeah, I agree. 2017. 3-point lead at the crucial time. South Bucks have led most of the way in this fourth set, but Richmond never looked out of it, never giving up.
These serves really pushing the receive back. And again, putting the pressure on the setter as well.
Big net touch there, unfortunately. She got the block in, did Williams, but just touching the net on her way down. It's going to be another timeout here at 21-17.
Yeah, good decision again. Just got to regroup and then really try and bounce back straight away after that timeout. I think they know that the serve's going to be pushing them back. Can they get that ball in? What options do they have? And can they just try and find deep corners? Deep corners are points. We've seen it all day long at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out of this timeout. Hopefully that little time to take a little breather and reset will help. But we've got a great server on the service line who's building pressure and has throughout the whole game.
Certainly has. What can she do here? 21-17 is the score. The serve this time is into the net, and perhaps the timeout working for South Bucks.
Yeah.
21-18, they'll get to the service line, and it's their own serving star, Miss Alimova, who's also applied plenty of pressure from her side of the net on serve.
Yeah, just out. Good leave.
Unfortunately, at the heat of the moment, you can completely understand it. It just goes slightly too long. 22-18 now. Richmond just 3 points away from this title.
Great serve.
Yeah, really tricky serve there, coming in from Daphne Tunker. Floating and looking like it was going out all the way, really, and then just dropping at that last minute, forcing the South Bucks defence to play it.
Lots of support from Richmond's bench. 2 points away.
Brilliant effort there from South Bucks to keep that one alive, nearly finding the ground. They'll go up the middle and they will find the kill, as it has been so often in this game. Grace Owen Crompton with the play, and it sets up 6 match points here for Richmond. It was 18-17 at one point in this set. It's now 24-18. They're just 1 point away from a 3-1 victory here. It's Daphne Tunker back on the service line. Again, it's going to be an ace to win it. Richmond have won the title. The under-16 Girls Grand Prix champions are Richmond. 3-1, 25-18 in the final set. A fantastic fight from both teams. Richmond, though, deserving champions.
Absolutely. What a game. That's what we want. Tight, close matches. And this is a real asset for what volleyball in this country can do at under-16 level.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Richmond for the win. Well deserved. Definitely some standout players here. We're slowly starting to bring out some medals as well.
Yeah, fantastic effort from Richmond. Those first 2 sets, they were dominant, and South Bucks came back into it. They gave a really good account for themselves on the day and throughout the whole year, but Richmond never let them get away with it. never let them get out of their sights, and eventually it was just that run of points at the end of the set that did it for them there. Finishing with an ace, they applied massive service pressure throughout the game, so somewhat fitting to finish it in that style.
Yeah, really enjoyed the crowd, the noise and the support, and at this age that's all that really the athletes need. They need lots and lots of support and lots of noise, you know.
Yeah. It's going to be a hard one to take for South Bucks, but looking back on this day, they will have made some brilliant memories with such massive support, some incredible players from everyone on that incredible plays from everyone on that lineup, and plenty to be proud of. And a silver medal is still a silver medal.
It's a great achievement, you know. That game could have gone either way. In
Absolutely.
That fourth set, very tight, just before those 2 timeouts. But I think, you know, the worthy winners were Richmond.
Yeah. Do we have a prediction for MVP? It will be announced alongside the trophy presentation. There's 5 or 6 names you could choose from on this Richmond side.
Yeah.
Some standouts for me were Michaela Cabrejas in defence, and then of course the middles, Grace Owen Crompton and
Daphne, number 9.
Yes.
Yeah, she had a great game too. Even the setter, the distribution was good. And like you say, there's a lot of options there. But even on South Bucks' team, don't forget, winning one set, we can still have the MVP from South Bucks. You know, I really thought Maria had a really strong game, number 18. I thought Molly had a very good game as well, coming up against another strong middle and keeping them at bay at times as well. So, going to be interesting to see who gets that. If I was to choose, I would probably give this to Grace. I think she helped that team excel and get a few points, but I think Cabrejas Libero had a great game too. Took so much court for such a young age. Really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it was those first 2 sets really. Those first 2 sets really, it was Grace Owen Crompton who got the business done.
Yeah, we'll find out very soon who's going to get that MVP.
So we're going to have the trophy presentation in just a minute. And yeah, we've said it already, but South Bucks should be very proud of their performance and their silver medal today. They've put up a great showing for themselves, perhaps just paying slightly for that slow start in the first couple of sets.
Yeah, these things happen though. You know, Richmond play really well in the first 2 sets. It's also the environment, the pressure, you know, the noise. There's lots of variables that do put you under pressure in these moments. And teams are allowed to play well. I thought, you know, for having such a big fan base here, I think they can go home really happy with how they played. They pushed Richmond all the way, and that's all we want in the final.
Yeah, I think rather than South Bucks losing this final, it's really a case of Richmond winning.
Yeah.
They were forced to work for it in all 4 sets, but particularly those last 2.
Yeah, rightly so. We can just see refs getting awards for their contribution for today. Both had great games.
Well, so the South Bucks squad. So the captain, 27 libero, Lila Amosieo. The number 4, the middle, Josh Bartram. The number 7, the setter, Sky Hopkins, who was another who had an exceptional game.
Yeah.
The number 9, the middle, Molly Meehan, who've already flagged. Number 8, Olivia Williams as well, made some great contributions throughout the game. Number 10, Kira Mirsalamova, who was strong from the service line and from the outside. Number 11, the setter, Evie Winspear. number 15, Phoebe Liu, number 16, Amber Berman. Neither of those two featured much in this game, but I'm sure they have throughout the whole season. Number 18, Maria Smolinska, who at age 14 was one of the strongest players. I'm sure we'll see plenty more of her across the next few years. And of course their coaches, Lucas Dora and Lauren Tucker. So congratulations to the runners-up South Bucks here in the under-16 girls.
Yeah, Richmond players just getting the awards now, getting the medals. And just as we get to the end of handing out the medals, we've got that suspense to find out who got the MVP. Coaches just getting their medals.
Big round of applause for the coaching staff there of Richmond from their whole team.
Congrats to Richmond for winning this under-16 girls final.
So MVP is Grace Owen Compter, a much deserved award and clearly a very popular award amongst their team.
Yeah, 100%. I thought she had a fantastic game, but really that's quite a difficult choice.
Yeah, destructive display from the middle, particularly in those first two sets, but as you say, pretty much anyone on that Richmond team could have won it, and if, you know, even most of the South Bucks teams as well.
And there's the celebration. Hands up, cheers. It'll be lovely to hear from them soon about their thoughts.
Yeah.
But yeah, congrats to Richmond. Well done for winning this final.
Yeah, and some of them will be back in action tomorrow, looking to secure a second title in the under-15s. That's probably it from us for now.
Yeah.
If you want more volleyball, head over to the Court 1 live stream where it's the Women's Cup final and a huge Men's Cup final to come later as well. But thank you for joining us, and hope you enjoyed our coverage.
Thanks a lot, guys.